Hey everybody. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do some inks today. So I want to have a little bit more of a relaxing time. Inks are more relaxing. I'm joined tonight by my wonderful, beautiful, amazing cook wife. Made pho from scratch tonight for some friends who came over. It was beautiful. Hello, Kimmy.
Hello.
I'm drawing the ancient. We'll see how it goes.
What do you have playing? What music?
Blind Guardian. Just because it seems like YouTube doesn't care if I'm listening to this. Oh, that's nice. Trying to see how wicked this ancient one is supposed to be. Apparently very. It's got big eyes.
If it's anything like me, I'm pretty wicked.
Are you? What do you think about that? What you just did?
Wicked. The wickedly talented. What did he call her? Adele Dazeem.
That one was so broken that I can't even think of how it's supposed to sound.
He said, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
Yeah. It's always funny when somebody says something so wrong that you forget how it's supposed to be said.
Well, I don't know how you haven't just switched over to Jack Human yet, because
yeah.
I can't not say that.
Yeah, Kim said that the other night. We went to Matt McCusker's comedy show. And we were hanging out after with him. And we were talking about like stuff worked on and whatever. And we were talking about like movie posters. And or just my experience with those people. Like when Hugh Jackman said that when I drew him, he looked like he was taking a shit. And Kim called him Jack Human.
And that's what he'll always be. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. That's his name.
She was like, tell him about what Jack Human said to you. And they both looked around like, Jack Human? What the fuck is that?
Look, I don't get starstruck. It's just... That's just who he is. That's who he is to me. That's who he should be to everybody. I think it's funnier because I don't think of it when I'm saying it. I'm seeing the word H-U-G-H, Hugh, like Hugh, man. Yeah. And when you hear it, you're hearing me say Jack Human, like a human being.
Yeah,
so it just sounds like I'm fucking out of my mind.
That is what you're saying.
You know, Bill Person, Jack Human.
Forgot how cool this pencil brush was in Photoshop. It's this Kyle Webster? Is that his name? Can't remember. It's one of his pencil brushes. very good.
Here's a question for you. Hey Dave, is that hat modeled after the classic 90s Cat in the Hat hat?
It is, actually. It's modeled right after that. I'm going to draw a little nasty alien face on it. I had I didn't have the Cat in the Hat hats with the alien designs and things, but I did have like a little metal alien head necklace. It was just the shape of an alien's head, and that's it. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I was trying to remember what I had in that vein. I had something with an alien on it.
Just that like era of the 90s, like 1995, 6, 7, like there was a ton of alien stuff. It was very much a status symbol if you had something really cool with aliens. Aliens are weed
and
symbol.
Like flowers for girls, like bell bottoms and flowers, and
That's true.
it was a whole era.
Pot leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And South Park stuffed animals.
It's funny because I'm from Colorado and I don't think I ever saw this.
They were everywhere, and they were at every fair when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, like that was like the number one prize. I think I'm just like we're close in age, but like I'm just a little bit older where like I saw the peak of that.
That's true. I mean, it's not like people didn't quote it all the time. And I don't know if I told you this, but my uncle, the one who passed away, owns land in South Park.
Does he?
Mm-hmm. So now my cousins own land in South Park. It's just like a field. There's nothing there, but yeah. And one time we went out to go see this plot of land, and I was thinking, this is such a long trip just to see a field. It was so weird.
Yeah, and there was just nothing there.
There was nothing. We need another mousetrap. You guys, I've been practicing.
Yeah, Kim's a much better artist than she used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see how she's evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you guys tell her to draw Jack Black from the Minecraft movie or something like that, and see how good it comes out.
Yeah, just wait. You just wait. My repertoire is building. I feel like I have a little bit of a food coma.
Oh my god. I don't have a food coma. I have like a food basketball. I feel like I could
food pregnancy.
I feel disgusting.
It's a terrible thing to say.
Food did it. It's just that like I had 2 beers, a huge bowl of pho, and a brownie.
A really dense brownie.
It was insane. I could just, I don't know, just fart my balls off.
You should. You should fart your balls off.
God. Yeah, I'm like pretty excited for this bloating to go away. I took peppermint pills.
I'll just put you on your belly and then I'll bicycle your legs.
Just put me on all fours and turn me into a pig.
There you go.
It's a farting pig. Trying to see what I can make out in this little tiny picture. So I actually know what he has on him, what the designs are like. can kind of tell what's going on. I kind of want to see if I can get to a decent painting from doing the inks. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick to it being inks. I just worked on, at the end of my like work day today, I worked on a War Machine cover for Marvel. And they're basic, like the cool thing about working for Marvel is not the pay, I'll tell you that much. It's the amount of things they let me do. So I just asked, I was like, can I do like War Machine fighting a dragon? Like, can I just do something stupid? Like, I don't want to do like, because I had just done an Iron Man cover, and I was like, I really don't want to just paint Iron Man again. Basically, that's all it is when you're doing War Machine. So it's like, I just did that. I really don't want to do that again. I was like, can I do an inking style, and can I do him fighting a dragon? And they were like, yeah, well, no. Whatever.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, good. Then I know exactly what I'm going to do. So basically, I'm doing like a very 80s, like, you know those, if you're on Pinterest, you've seen them, those like old school art of like a giant robot fighting a dragon, and like Japanese like box art or poster design. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing. It's very pulpy and silly. So that's fun. And I had so much energy for that. I honestly forgot I was doing a stream tonight until like Kim reminded me 30 minutes ago. I thought today was Wednesday. Like all day today I thought today was Wednesday. It's not. It's Thursday. And I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go right back. I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna finish that image. It's so close to done. Yeah, that'll be nice. I'm like, oh no, I gotta draw the ancient one. I gotta draw that ancient one for the stream. But it was fun. But anyway, I'm doing inks on that, so that's why I'm doing inks for this. I've just been doing so many paintings. I want to do something a little different. Marvel didn't get back to me about streaming. There's a bunch of questions. I don't know if you're looking at the chat.
No, sorry. My kids are on like an in-service week. They're on a break, so I was just trying to check my email because I had something shipping. I was supposed to have something today. So I just thought I'd do that quickly while you were painting away, because there weren't any questions a second ago.
That's okay.
Sorry. It says, Dave, I often start an illustration with a good composition and a vague idea in mind, but I take a long time to finish it because I don't really know what to do or add next. Is this a bad approach? In essence, I figure things out as I go along, but it doesn't seem to be an efficient approach. Do you have a crystal clear image in your mind before you even start?
No, I never have a crystal clear image. I have an idea. My screen's gonna go black, sorry. I'm switching programs and I always forget to clear the images that are in the beginning of me opening up Krita. Alright. So no, I don't have like a super clear image of it. I just have an idea of the composition. But I'm so used to doing this stuff that it kind of comes to me pretty quick. I'm able to like problem solve for things and whatever without too much trouble. And I generally know like compositional shapes and things. So it's not too difficult for me to like pull that together on the fly. Most of what you do though, in terms of breaking it down to something simple is drawing like a pretty small thumbnail so that you can see how the image is going to look before you go ahead and get started. In that way, you're not like too focused on adding in a bunch of little teeny tiny elements, and you can focus on the overall image. And even if I don't have like a clear idea of exactly what everything is, I at least know the general shapes that are going to be in there. And then as long as the final fits within those shapes, the composition still works.
Can you guys tag me in the question so that I know it's a question? Please.
Yeah, so at... What's your name in there?
Crumberly.
Crumberly.
Kimberly. Nicholas says, did Marvel... Oh, no, just kidding. Didn't you already draw that with the robot trying to fight the urge to masturbate?
Yeah. Kind of. But not exactly. The War Machine one's a little different than that.
Do you still study drawing in general, or do you only use references when you're going to create a piece of art?
I almost never really use references, but not like super direct references, at least. Like I'm looking at that, wizardry image right there, but other than that, I don't have anything. I'm just going off of what I already understand. Studies though, no, not really. I mean, most of my studies are like, I'll have something pulled up sometimes. Like let's say there's just something I'm not super comfortable drawing, then yeah, I might pull up something. But like what you're watching right now is this is like comfort food to me. Like this is like a recipe I've made a billion times. This is my chocolate chip cookies. It's like this is something that I just know how to do. So I'm not even thinking. I'm just doing this thing because I enjoy doing it. It's easy for me. The streams are just a time for me to talk to you all and rough something out. So that's what this is. Like I'm not even thinking when I'm doing this, really. And that just comes from experience, But if there's something I don't know how to do, then I'll look at reference. Like if I'm drawing like a car, I don't know, something I don't draw a lot.
Then you look at me.
That's right. And I go, look at that SUV.
And I go, rum, 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 rum.
And I go, that is a family automobile.
And then you see the art that he creates. So I'm the muse.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any favorite comic book inkers, old or current?
For sure. I'm so bad with the names. Winter World, the original, is one of my favorites. What the hell? I follow his son online. Then there's the dude who did Mort Cinder. Big fan. Kira Toriyama. No, who else? Akira Toriyama is great, but that's not who I was thinking of. Tomo. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a million of them I'm not thinking of.
Is there something you hate drawing?
Something I hate drawing? boring stuff, I guess. Like just like very mundane things. Unless there's like a twist to it.
You like an illustration. You like something that tells a story.
That's true.
That's what he's drawn to. So anything that's opposing that idea or that feeling is probably something that you don't like to draw.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think this guy has evil enough eyebrows.
I know. I told you. I was giving you all the laughs that you needed, and you didn't take it. All the spooks, you know? Hey Dave, do you plan to add any more tutorials to Gumroad? I still have the Bogwitch tutorial from years ago. Very nice.
I was thinking about it, but most all that stuff is on my Patreon now. Like I have like 7-part series on there that are like many hours long of me talking, and the Patreon itself is like $5, so it's way cheaper than a Gumroad. But yeah, I've thought about it. But I think like, yeah, I just have to put together like a couple illustrations, I guess, with recorded pieces. I've only recently really got into my paintings feeling like really nice, and that's been the past like, I don't know, like 10 images or so.
Yeah.
Where I felt like, oh, this is a bigger leap than usual. I'm feeling good about it.
It's really nice to see you feel that way about it, because well deserved.
Thanks. I'm happy to feel like I'm actually doing something. That's one of those things where like everybody else would tell me all the time, like, no, but you're doing good, like your stuff's good. And I'd be like, yeah, but you don't know what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to do something it's not happening yet.
Yeah.
And now I feel like the stuff is really looking like that. Like ever since I did that one Spider-Man image where he's like standing on that little like stone piece.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I did that, I've been like on an upward trajectory, and all the stuff I've done has been way better than my old stuff.
Yeah, it's been really, really tight.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay. I'm reading questions in the chat. If you guys could... Oh, it's not under Kimberly. Sorry. Screwed you guys up. Told you guys to tag me. Told you the wrong handle. That was my bad. That's me in the chat. Where's that last question? Just got back into painting after years because it never clicked for me and still doesn't. Any tips for someone who thinks exclusively in lines? Love the wizardry stuff, by the way.
Any tips for somebody who thinks exclusively in lines?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would say do studies. Like do like life paintings in front of you, like, and try to rethink what you're doing. Like think about stuff in terms of forms rather than defined shapes with lines. Start to think of like how shadow interacts with something to define a shape, and how the light does that as well. And then you basically like play with those, and then like for me right now, like what I'm doing, like I'm thinking in terms of line right now, but I'm also just thinking in terms of shapes. Like a lot of this is just me doing like fills in places to imply objects and depth and whatever. It's like it's not like I'm going in and drawing every single detail.
I think the way you explained it to me, because I think I've asked you something similar to this. Like, especially when you're like shading and stuff and filling in shapes, it's like, it is, if you're thinking it in like a 3-dimensional shape, it's like you're carving something. Like what piece you would need to carve away and to make it look like that shape or to read like that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that helped me understand it. This is coming from a non-artist, so.
I had the opposite thing where like I started that way, doing only like implied things and working from shapes, and then figuring out what I was doing, like in terms of like, you know, I'm working on a concept, I'd be like building out a character from shapes, and my drawings weren't doing so hot, so I had to spend a lot of time drawing and then come back to painting. And now I'm kind of combining all of it that I've learned over the years. But yeah, it's a process. Takes a long time. How much do you paint from life? And how much did it help? It helped tremendously. And I did it pretty much every morning I spent about an hour to 2 hours every morning for maybe like 2 years doing that.
In the grand scheme of things, guys, like if you're pursuing something as like a career, that's not that bad, because lots of people spend more time in school to get a degree for their career. So if you can do that by yourself for 2 years and be somewhere where you can get a job, I don't know, pretty cool. I don't know what you want to say to this. It's more of a comment, but I thought you probably have something to say.
Yeah.
I've only been drawing for 1.5 years, and people are telling me to make a portfolio of my crappy amateur work. Nice, but annoying.
I don't know.
I just thought maybe you'd want to comment.
Don't brag openly like that. No, I would just say, if you're, if you want attention, make the portfolio.
Do you have any advice when learning to draw characters?
Think simple in terms of how they're identifiable. Like, think really memorable, interesting silhouettes. Like, look at like all your look at what you think the best characters are in games or comics or whatever, and then break them down. Like, look at them, their silhouettes, try and see why they work so well. What draws you to them? What about their shape is instantly recognizable? The simple color scheme that they have. There's a number of things like that, and then it just comes down to, there's a number of other aspects to it. It's like fighting games have interesting character designs, but they're interesting in a way that is really dependent on the use case for them, right? So like a fighting game character needs to instantly be cool without any context, because it's not like you're reading a story about the character, you're playing a fighting game. So they need to be memorable and interesting without any context. Certain other characters can get interesting, because of the story. But ideally, you want the character design to be appealing without any context. Like, it just be this really cool looking design, and that could be like a very simple thing. Like simple is deceptive. Like, if you look at like how Mickey Mouse is designed, right? It's a very simple design, or like Mario, but very effective. Those are very difficult to do, to come up with a character like that. But ideally, you want to kind of break your characters down into silhouettes that are interesting, that read immediately against the rest of whatever it is that you're lining them up with, if other characters or within the context of the story. Maybe their color scheme is different than everything else, or if the backgrounds and things are really complicated, then the character is very simple. Like, there's a number of things you can do. And then simple rules for me is like breaking characters down into just 3 elements, 3 colors, something very simple like that, so that you don't overly complicate your designs. And you can also look at games or movies or comics where the character designs are bad. Like, look at like designs you think are bad and break down why they're bad. Well, why doesn't this work? What's up with this? Like, be very critical of things. That'll help you get better, because then you'll know, at least to you, like what doesn't work. And that way you can be more perceptive of that in your own stuff. I honestly think it's just as, like, to study good character design is one thing, but it's just as important to study bad design. You need to look at why things are broken, why stuff isn't interesting, why is this so forgettable. Like, one funny thing that I think I offended, I think I offended the artist from The Last of Us, because I was joking about how like what I said about context, right? Like, Joel is a good character design within the context of the story. Joel as just a dude without the context of the story, he's just a guy in like a plaid shirt and jeans, And if you don't know who Joel is, because I was making a joke about they made a statue of Joel that you could have in your house. And I was like, who the hell wants a statue of a guy in a plaid shirt with jeans? I was like, that's just a fucking guy. That's just the guy you have in your house.
That would be really funny just to have that. And you could just tell people, like, that's my dad.
Yeah, it's like if your grandma comes over.
It's still life of my dad.
Yeah, like if your grandma comes over and she sees that, she's going to be like, that's just the fucking Brawny Man. Like, you have a statue of the Brawny Man, and that's fucking crazy. What are you doing? That would
be so out of place. Where would you put that?
Yeah. So, like, my point was that character design is good within the context of the actual game. It's not necessarily this like super compelling design without that. And yeah, you have to kind of think of like what you're doing it for, why things work, where, that sort of thing.
Do you have any advice on creating illustrations with a large amount of characters? I've had more of a desire to make illustrations like that, mostly like Capcom art on the brain.
Yeah, look at somebody like Noriyoshi Orai. Look at his Mad Max poster. That was one of the ones that helped me kind of see how to do that. Drew Struzan does this too, but I found that Noriyoshi Orai does it a bit more literally. And like what Drew Struzan and Noriyoshi Orai both do is they take these like really complicated, busy compositions with all these characters and things, and they break it down to like very simple blocks. So there'll be like a mass of characters or like a little mini scene in the corner or whatever, and that could be really busy if everything was separate and painted in a realistic way, and living in a color space that was treated as the same as the main focal points of the characters. But instead what they do is they take like a chunk of like 10 characters and it'll all be in an orange hue, that sort of thing, so that it's like one big block of a shape all living within this one color scheme, so that it doesn't clash with the rest of the focus of the poster. It's not like here's just a bunch of characters that are all rendered perfectly with realistic colors and things. It's designed to read as a big shape with a bunch of stuff in it, so that it isn't overwhelming to your brain. It's like one big triangle with a bunch of characters inside of it. So because it's a triangle, you're not overwhelmed. It's living within this shape.
We're caught up on questions.
So like if you looked at my images that I've done, like bigger compositions, the successful ones that I've done have that sort of thing where it's like the detailed characters and stuff live within a shape. They're not just like willy-nilly everywhere all over the thing. So like if you look at my like Final Fantasy VI poster, I just did a big diamond and the characters all live within the diamond, which makes it easier for you to look at it without feeling overwhelmed.
I'm cold.
Okay. This nasty wizard. This ancient one.
It's very cool.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing this with me.
Of course.
I'm really happy that we were able to connect on this. I wasn't tagged in this question, so I don't know if it's for me, but Edric Flair wants to know what's the meaning of life.
What's the meaning of life? you know, friction. Nothing comes without friction. All good things come from that. Whether it's having children, receiving, or achieving a goal, everything comes from friction. So I think it's chasing that in all things. Things that feel difficult, going for it.
I keep seeing this repeated in places like the concept artist subreddit, that illustrations and actual concept art are different and requires different types of portfolio. Is that true?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Illustrations.
What
and
illustration's an
concept art
entirely different thing.
are different things.
Illustration, you're illustrating something, and to illustrate something, you're basically telling a little story in pictures in a scene. And concept is relaying an idea.
More the genesis of an idea. Concept art is like the creation of the thing.
Yeah, concept can just be a
Just
doodle.
the idea, yeah.
It doesn't need to be like super rendered, you know.
But it doesn't tell a story, it's just an idea.
Yeah, like it can tell some
Yeah.
kind of story, but it doesn't need to. That's not the whole point of it. Like it's just not the same job. There's different goals with each one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people get in the wrong mind with concept art because they only see what's posted online. Concept art is not that. Like, it is and it isn't. Concept art...
As a job, as a career path.
What? What are you talking about?
Like, it's different because, like, what people are showing online is not, like, what's necessarily, like... A lot of people won't see true concept art because that stuff falls under NDA stuff, does it not?
Kind of. But I'm more saying that people only put out, like, polish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what concept art is in the actual sense of, like, you're in the middle of the job and you're working on a video game for years. It's not about doing a bunch of pretty pictures. That's not the point of concept art. The point of concept art is to get an idea across, show it, and then start to, you know, move towards... If you're going to actualize that, then you can render it a bit more or whatever. But, like, you're starting to get the ball rolling on a thought, and you're like, here's what it could look like. Here's how this thing could work.
And then
Here's whatever.
in the way that you're saying that it's, like, unpolished and everything, it actually, I feel like, from what I understand as a person removed from this, but just hearing how you work, that, like, the tighter a painting or drawing is rendered or whatever in concept, it makes it more rigid, like, especially if they're still in a conceptual stage. Like, then you kind of put it in a box and say it has to be this thing if it's too rendered or too
That's
tight,
true.
right?
Something you can... I think if I can rephrase your point,
Yeah.
it's basically like you can make the mistake of putting something in type, like having it be in like a font on a computer,
Mm-hmm.
and then it looks like it's done, as opposed to seeing a note in a notebook, where a note in a notebook feels like you're still working it out. And you can make the mistake of over rendering a thing and being like, and look at that. And it's like, yeah, but just because you made it pretty doesn't make it a good idea. And you need to live in the ideation stage a little longer for most concepts. It's like you're just trying to get the idea out. And if the idea is good, that's what matters. It doesn't matter how well you drew it. That's fine. And, you know, whatever you need to do to convey it, that's what's important. It's not about, you know, making a portfolio piece. You're just doing stuff to get through to somebody else. Here's what I'm thinking. And then from there, you know, if you're going to do an art book, which is like most concepts that you see, then they go back and render some of that stuff, or, you know, maybe they do that anyway at the company where they get the concepts going and then they render it out after, just, once it's all approved. But in general, that's kind of just not the point. Like, in terms of character designs, when it's like concept and you see those really rendered pieces, that's to get across like all the texture information and everything the character's wearing to a modeler, somebody else down the pipeline who has to bring that thing to a final in the game. So they need all that extra information to see it. But the initial thing, it's not just that. Like if I'm designing like a bug catcher in a game, like I don't need to do these super polished high render nets. Like I just need to show like this one has electric properties and this one does this and this one does that, and it just kind of show like a bunch of variations of a thought. And that's where the value is. It's about the idea. The render is secondary. In an illustration, what it is you illustrating something happening. Like I work on key art a lot for games, and the key art is meant to be like a moment in the game, whether it's for like promotional material or whatever, that's conveying some aspect, the gameplay or story, and illustrating a moment. And that needs to be like this high render polished thing a lot of times. And sometimes you can be a bit more loose and just show like, a few key moments of gameplay. Like this is what happens when you find a monster. This is the interaction that the player has.
Illustration is more in a setting, typically, where concept art doesn't necessarily need a setting. It's just the thing.
Yeah.
Do you have an ultimate goal or dream as an artist?
Go to the moon one day.
Ultimate.
No, I don't really. No. I just want to get better. Make stuff.
What's up with your IPs like Starvale? Will you be doing anything like that again?
Yeah, it's just a matter of having money, Like I don't have like a huge nest egg of cash to fall back on and be able to make those things. Like nobody's funding those. Not really. So it's not like I have, like I have my Patreon, but my Patreon is really just me doing like art and process stuff. I don't have like an exclusive Patreon to only do like comics and just be like, you're funding this thing that might happen this way and whatever. I mean, I could pivot it and just have that be all that it is. But really what happens is once you get involved in doing like a comic like that, it's hard to do anything else. Like that has to be like everything you do. It's too involved. Like if you're in it, you're in it. I don't like it would be like I have a whole lawn to cut. I gotta cut the lawn, but instead of just spending an afternoon cutting the lawn, I go out and I cut like a foot of it and then I go inside. It's like at a certain point I'm cutting the lawn for like 2 years, if that's what I'm doing. And then I'm never fully focused on it. And it's really hard to do that with a comic because you kind of need to be in it the whole time and know the characters intimately and do it all. But Dan and I did get very close to almost having that. We almost had it. We were so close. We almost had that money glitch. But we may get back to that. We're waiting. We had to wait till everything settled and all the animated television shows got canceled. Yeah, it's funny doing this now. I feel like I should be doing these types of inks before I do my paintings. And now that I'm a little bit better, bringing everything into like a final from a sketchy stage. I used to worry that like these inks were just too sharp and it would just be so much work getting rid of them that it wouldn't be worth it, but the drawings always come out so much better. So I feel like I should just do it anyway. And just for the sake of having something real solid to build off of. I did finish up that Cat Warrior dude for the Patreon. So I'm pretty hyped to put that out. Wonder if I can show that. Where is she at? Yeah, I'm gonna pull him up so you can see. I finished this guy today, or as much as I want to, have worked on him. Oh no, this is the wrong file. Where is he at? I don't know. Anyway, cool.
That's so good.
Oh yeah, we're coming up on the end. Thanks everybody hanging out. I got really far.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost done.
Yeah, it's only 53 minutes of streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate you all. This is Rahulajal says I can connect with the grass cutting analogy. Does that mean you have ideas to work, just not the funding and time? Yeah, that's really it. I would love to do, like, look at the inking I just did here. I would love to do Starvale like this. I would love it. I have the story stuff. It's just so much time. I could, and again, it's like I could do little by little, but that would suck ass. It's like I really just need like chunks of time or something. I don't know. I really don't. I don't have like a clear solve for that. I have no idea.
I'm trying to get this bakery up and going so I can fund him.
True. I mean, because it's like a, it's just an issue because in all reality, the thing I'm talking about is like, if only I had the funding to do all this stuff, right? That's the problem. That's also the solution. The solution is doing those books, because doing those books will make all this money on the side so that I can afford to do these other things. But it's just getting past that initial thing and being able to get through whatever, all the stuff we got to pay for the kids, and you know, maintaining clients so that we have a steady income, and then also somehow finding a way to do that. It's just very hard. So I don't know, but that is the key to getting out, because then you have this thing, and if it works out, and the book is good, and the stories, you know, it all works and spreads and people like it, then it can turn into stuff, you know. Then you can sell it to, you know, streamers and things, and develop it into a show or whatever. But that takes that time and that sacrifice, which is extremely hard to do. Like, it was kind of easier to do it with Steve because Steve is so simple. But not so easy to do with something that takes a ton of art. I mean, it takes a ton of time to do the art. Is this just fan art? Yeah, it's just me kind of going through and doing just my own take on all these little wizardry characters. Like, I'm not really changing them too much or anything. I'm just doing like my style for them.
What did you mean to get better? You did this in 53 minutes. What do you want to get better at?
Oh, I can always get better. Everything. I'm always getting better. Me doing this in 53 minutes is better than what I was doing last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that. I'm happy though. It looks cool.
It does look good. I like that you pulled his hand away from his armpit. That tangent is terrible. It looks like he's sticking it in his armpit.
What?
In the small card. Your reference picture?
His finger?
Yeah. His fingers looks like...
He's pointing at it. Look at my muscle. Look at the staff back there. That's what he's
Yeah,
saying. Look at my weapon, you idiot.
I like your composition much better.
He's saying, look at my weapon.
That.
Look at that bullshit back there. I could fuck you up with that stuff and you wouldn't know it's coming.
Over here? No, I said look at my face, and he's pointing over here. So good.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff above me. Honestly, you know, it's not subjectivity. It is in some respect, but like, come on. Go look at some classical painters. There are people doing wild shit.
Wow.
There are people doing wild shit.
We did not see the Chainsaw Man movie yet.
No, we should though.
I know.
We really like Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
I'm so tired.
Appreciate you all.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Later, everyone. This was the
Night.
ancient wizardry.
Amen.